you know, that's a common theme and an issue in society or amongst us as black people.
Right.
You know, you kind of see what side of the fence a lot of motherfuckers on. And for me, it's funny because a lot of these times when I put something out there like that, you have people chiming in, piping in from all different directions, and they going hard. And they are either attacking my point or they attacking each other, going back and forth. And it took on a life of its own. This whole conversation in grew legs, and I'm sitting back like, well, you know, y'all got a preconceived notion on something that I put out there, but I never really gave you my position. You know what I'm saying? I just spoke hypothetically. I never said I believe or this is this or this is that. Now, if it's something where I'm standing firm on the principle, yeah, I'll demonstrate that. You know, because that ain't really subject to debate. That's for the record. Let the record reflect that. If you disagree, you know, that's fine. You're entitled to that. And if you agree with me, then stand in solidarity. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to why I do that, again, it's just to kind of like go fishing to see where people at with certain things. Because if I find that social media is strong enough to reveal a fatal character flaw, then that's really beneficial for me, because I got all rational reasons to not fuck with you ever again in real life. You know, like you only get one time to show me a real character flaw. You know, if it's some shit that can't be corrected or and then as far as our people concerned, and a lot of people that we even came up with, you know, when I see them take liberal positions or sympathetic positions toward Europeans or people that's been oppressing us or the system that got us at a disadvantage, you know.
When they put the French flag up?
Yeah, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
When they say pray for France and that.
Yeah, or really just, or when they get real overboard with their political view, like religion, I could care less about. We had that conversation on the last podcast. You know, who you pray to, it has no relevance to me whatsoever. Just treat me with respect, and I'm gonna reciprocate that. I'm gonna initiate it and hope that you reciprocate it. But when it comes to politics, that's where people really expose themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because if you let a political theory dictate how you rotate and how you demonstrate with other people and how you interact with other people, if that's a point of contention, and because you chose to affiliate yourself with something that ain't even to your benefit, like the government don't give a fuck if you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent or a Whig or any other Tea Party. The government don't care about that shit. They got a structure that's been in place since the late 1700s. You know what I'm saying? Without basically any ratifications whatsoever besides the amendments. You know
I'll say that. I mean, not to go too far into the politics thing, but I will say that I have some of the same views when I see people doing. I'm watching them on social media, politicizing and saying all these different things, and I hate the division. That's the problem I have with it. And all I want is I feel like politics work in a way that certain groups need to be together and vote as a block. If we're all voting individually, it don't matter. So with your point as far as not voting, I'm willing to not vote. If we all not voting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with that, because that really means something. And the same thing, all these people voting, but voting how they feel and all this stuff, and everybody voting this way and that way. But no, that ain't going to. So then it's a wasted vote. People vote in blocks, and they get treated in blocks. So if this block voted for us, let's do for this block of people. You know what I'm saying? And the social media exposes all this division. Like, you got all these people saying this and that, so forth and so on, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but you see it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it really it disappointed me with more than a few people. You know, like with this past presidential election, because I'm of the mind frame that. As far as our people concerned, I can only speak to that because of who I am. You know, I'm a black man, and I never, ever try to step outside my skin and try to, you know, well, I can empathize with other people, but at the end of the day, I'm about our plight, period, point blank. Right. I'm 150%, and it's really like fuck everything else, because we've been the most exploited and you know, oppressed people in the history of mankind.
That's our business to take care of ours.
In that order. So
what happens with the others happens with them.
No question.
Hopefully they're fighting for their rights.
No question.
And we all get it.
And when you see that, you know, when you see some of our brothers and sisters, you know, take the position a feeling like this government is going to save us, or depending on who you vote for, strictly based on who you don't like or who you like or who you don't want to see in office as opposed to who you want to see in office, where we already knowing the root of our problem lies in not having the economic infrastructure of our own. Everything stems from that. It has nothing to do with your political affiliation. Everything stems from us not having an economic base. So I'm like me as a voter throughout my entire life as an adult. You know, we all came of age. You know, we were seniors and graduated from high school the first time we were eligible to vote. Clinton's second term. So from that point, I participated in every election. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to kind of reevaluate things. Like, you know, when you get older, you get perspective, and you're able to put things in retrospect and look back on the political process and how fundamentally flawed it is, and you're able to look at each period of time and see, okay, what was the benefit to you individually? What was the benefit to your family? What was the benefit to your community? And then conversely, what was the detriment to you as an individual? What was the detriment to your family? What was the detriment to your community? So when you look back on all that, I'm like, damn, you know, I never identified per se as a Democrat, but, you know, I was always taught in the black community, that's how we vote. You know, Republicans are against us, and not even drawing off the true history behind it, where Republicans was originally supposed to be
for the blacks,
for the blacks or whatever. So, you know, I look back on the whole thing like, man, look here.
Well, let me say, hold on, because I'm not to cut you off. Because you kind of like, you run something to my mind. Is there any particular trend on social media that has bothered you recently?
Yes.
Like, I'll give you mine. Let's go around the table with this.
Okay.
Mine would be, I ran it to you, remember? I had text her and said, so, what you think if I'm about to go ham on social media. I'm about to go crazy. She talked me down. Was when the 4 kids, the black kids, did the little dumb shit.
Oh, the special needs.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and say, for recording purposes and just speaking to y'all conversation, I've never watched the video yet. I didn't watch one news clip yet.
Right.
I've been oversaturated by black people on my timeline telling me that they hope that these black kids get the chair. That's all I know about it. Some black kids did something to a white boy, and black people hate them for it. And he said, and apparently they did this about Trump, which transversely is the person that they hate. So some black kids hate that I'm pretty sure these kids didn't vote.
Right.
Some black kids that were been given information. Some black kids that you given information that older black people have gave them the information that we should hate Trump. They went out with they dumbasses and did some stupid shit with that information. And now we like handing them over to the system. Like, we hope they get the chair. When all the time I'm watching, as I was saying earlier, I'm all on the white pages. You know what I'm saying? I follow racist pages. I'm looking at that shit they post. I look at it. You know what I'm saying? And I watch how when some black issue happens, how black people view it one way, and these racists, what I'll call them, view it some way different. This is the first time I've seen them on the same page.
The first time you saw what?
The black people on my timeline and the racists.
On one accord.
They're on one page.
Okay.
They all on one accord.
Frying. When Dylan Roof did that shit, they didn't even post it.
Yeah.
They don't post it. They don't talk about it.
And why are you talking about him? Is it just me? But was it not a big deal when he was sentenced to the death penalty?
Yeah.
Was it not a big deal? Was it kind of like one of those things where it was just like, oh, by the way, it wasn't much like publicity or much media?
Not at all.
Okay.
Because the media control the narrative.
Well, that's propaganda.
But then us too, though. It's out there. We saw it on social media. But why didn't you
I
share
really
that?
didn't see it, though. That's what I'm saying. On my timeline.
That's the only place I really saw it. But
I may have saw 1 or 2 articles about it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying.
You see, the problem was, people wasn't sharing it like that. People wasn't all happy, like they was happy
Yeah, but
to see these black kids get locked up. behind
Yeah.
that. They wasn't all happy and elated. That get them. We not like them.
that go back to my point. That just for you to make that observation, it was going fishing. You know what I'm saying? You've seen a lot of people's inner thoughts manifest when this situation presented itself. And my whole thing, when it went down, I've been deactivated from Facebook, but I can only imagine what the rhetoric being, and Facebook is a very trendy page. Somebody, they jump on the story and ride the shit out of it. But my drawing was, if you're gonna have strong sentiments towards these kids, then you can't pick and choose when they express that type of sensitivity or that type of anger. Your position got to be consistent, regardless of color, regardless of what the circumstances are. Because the measure that I drew back to when I saw all the, I'm watching it on the news and seeing their perspective. These newscasters and everybody that had these strong opinions about these young black teens. And then what really irked me was, because of largely the social media outrage, already there's been over $140,000 raised for this special needs kid. $140,000.
And we never do that for us.
And we never see that. You know what I'm saying?
What ticks me off about this whole situation? The press conference. The father and the sister and somebody else. I just happened to be watching something. The news came right on after that. And, it went to the whole press conference or whatever. That burned me up.
The father had a press conference saying what?
I don't know. I didn't look at it. I turned the channel. But, there was just a whole press conference about, this. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened.